So I went in the back and I'm just like, hello, like, babe, why are you calling a daggone job? And why are you not just calling my cell phone?
Yeah.
So he's just like, do you want today to be your last day at work? Baby, he didn't have to tell me twice. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and clock. I will literally walk out of here right now. Like, tell me you not for real. Are you playing? You for real? And he was just like, go ahead and clock out. So I literally left. I told my manager I had a family emergency. And I literally left. I didn't even know what his plan was. I just trusted the man. I don't know. I was about 22 at the time. Look, please comment, spare me. Okay. But I literally was just like, whatever this man plan is, I trust it because he got him so far. So I trust him with my life too. So yeah, I literally left. He got me a one-way to Dallas. There were movers at my apartment. I was packing. I was just ready to go.
How long did it take him from the moment that he made that phone call to you moving? How long was that process?
I was in Dallas a week after. Like literally. I was in Dallas the next week.
Every second that escapes without you here with me keeps my heart anticipating till I finally see you.
When I made my vows, I told God that I was going to take care of this gift.
All my life I've been waiting for you. Girl, you know I've been praying for you. Been writing these love letters to you.
So I fight for that future in the present. You know what I'm saying?
That was good, Ken.
Congratulations to the ones who found love, for the hope and new beginnings from heaven above. I await my future wifey. I pray that it won't be too long, too long. Every second that it...
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. I'm your host, laterras Whitfield. Listen, are you still shacking up with us? If you're still shacking up with us, can we get a commitment? Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Lit fam, go ahead and hit that like button right now so that this episode can notify those on YouTube and it become recommended. Man, we are in season 8. I know y'all have been loving these episodes thus far. Make sure that you go to the description, join the mailing list so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes, retreats, when we're doing the Dear Future Wifey live in your city. We have some amazing things coming down the pipeline, and I want to make sure that y'all know about it first. So today's episode, I want to tap into the younger audience. I had no idea that it was so many younger people watching our podcast. I don't want to sound like an old man, the younger folks, the young people. But I found people that are 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are watching the podcast. And so I said, you know what? This young lady caught my attention when she had this post that went super duper viral, probably a cumulative views of well over 15 million. And counting between all the sites. And I said, I want to talk to her. So I talked to her. I did a pre-interview and I said, you know what? I think you can add some value to our listeners on the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. So without further ado, welcome to the Dear Future Wifey Podcast. My new homie, Erica McDowell. How you doing?
I'm good.
Erica, how you feeling?
I'm feeling so good. And thank you for having me. I can't believe I'm here.
So why you think I have you here?
Well, first of all, you're like an uncle in my head.
There it is.
That's for one. And yes. I can't believe I'm sitting on a yellow couch.
We here now.
Because I always tune into you. But I feel like I'm here because I can offer a younger perspective, like you said. And I think that's because I am young, but I do have like a more traditional mindset in a sense of how I carry myself and like how I carry myself in my relationship. So... This could be interesting. I'm 25.
You're 25. My daughter's 27 years old. And so I feel like I'm talking to my daughter, one of her friends. But what caught my attention was a video that went viral. Explain to people what happened in that video.
Okay, so basically the video was me explaining my love story, but more so how I got to where I am right now. So I was just like, it was one day, it was this little trend going on TikTok of like, tell the girls, give the girls some hope. The girls need some hope, okay? Because it's looking ghetto out here.
Yeah.
So they were just like, tell the girls, an encouraging story to, show us that love still exists. So I'm like, you know what? Let me tell the girls what I've gone through. So basically, I was just telling my listeners how I got to Dallas. So I went to college in Virginia. So you want me to tell my whole story?
No, I want you to talk about the video and then we'll unpack all that. So the video that they witnessed was you telling your story about what? About
how my boyfriend moved me out here to Dallas.
Okay. He moved you to Dallas. How? What happened?
So I was literally at work. I was working at the Omni Hotel in Richmond, Virginia. I hated my job so much. I was working overnight.
Omni Hotel, if you ever like to sponsor the Dear Future Wifey podcast, make sure that I'll show y'all love. Don't listen to y'all former employee.
Look,
yeah.
I'm sorry. This don't got nothing to do with him. This don't got nothing to do with Unc, okay? He supports y'all. But me, no. I used to work overnight, and sometimes they'd call you in the morning and be like, can you come back in at 3 p.m.? I literally hated my job. So I used to complain to him all the time, like, babe, they called me in again. Somebody called out again. I got to blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm here overnight by myself. I'm 105.54, and I'm sitting at a hotel overnight by myself. Are you crazy?
Wait, so you worked what, the front desk?
Mm-hmm. So it was just like this. It was just a safety hazard. Like, it just sucked. So I used to just always complain to him. This is what I was saying in the video. And there was a day that I went into work after complaining to him that morning, and he literally called my job. And my manager was just like, Erica, like, your husband is on the phone. Like, come get the phone. And my manager already was sick of me just because I used to just always complain. So he's like, why is somebody calling his daggone place? So, I went in the back and I'm just like, hello, like, babe, why are you calling a daggone job? And why are you not just calling my cell phone?
Yeah.
So he's just like, do you want today to be your last day at work? Baby, he didn't have to tell me twice. I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and clock. I will literally walk out of here right now. Like, tell me you not for real. Are you playing? You for real? And he was just like, go ahead and clock out. So I literally left. I told my manager I had a family emergency. And I literally left. I didn't even know what his plan was. I just trusted the man. I don't know. I was about 22 at the time. Look, please comment, spare me. Okay. But I literally was just like, whatever this man plan is, I trust it because he got himself far. So I trust him with my life too. So yeah, I literally left. He got me a one-way to Dallas. There were movers at my apartment. I was packing. I was just ready to go.
How long did it take him from the moment that he made that phone call to you moving? How long was that process?
I was in Dallas a week after. Like, literally. I was in Dallas the next week. And I was like, this is the life I'm supposed to be living. But we're going to get into that too. But when I did, and I said this in the video as well, we did kind of have an expectation conversation. It was just like, okay, if you are going to be living here, this is what I need from you. I really want you to figure out what you want out of life. Like, who do you want to be when you grow up? Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So that's what I had to like do some soul searching with. And that was 2021. It's 2024 now. And I just figured out what I wanted to be when I grow up. So
And so
it's a process.
So to put this in perspective, you've heard a lot of comments on this video. People saying what they think that you got some old sugar daddy or something that done flew you out.
Yes.
I'm sitting up here witnessing Trayvon right here. Y'all the same age.
Yes.
How old is he exactly?
He's 26, so he's a year older than me.
Yeah, same age. And really cool dude. Don't like being on camera. So he's like, listen, I don't want to be on camera. That's not my world. That's her world. He's one of those analytical minds, have a good job. And his world is totally opposite of this world. So he said, listen, I'll come to Terrace. I tried to talk him into being on the podcast, y'all. I said, just come on. I said, they need to see young kings that represent what women desire. Like, we hear all these women saying, I want a man that can give me the soft life or whatnot. And he ain't saying, I'm gonna give you the soft life. He's saying, I'm going to give you a great support system so that you can build your life off of.
Yes.
And So women said that, you know, they want that and all that because we always hear about these women supporting these men, helping them get themselves together, helping them chase their dreams, driving their car around while they trying to, while the woman's at work. You know, Trayvon said, listen, baby, I don't want to hear you complain no more because if you're complaining, you're bringing that into our relationship. Literally. He said, so I want to just say, hey, listen, I'll give you the safe space for you to find out whatever it is you want to do, and I'm going to support you because he says, I'm living in the life of abundance. Amen?
Amen.
Trayvon said he's living in the life of abundance is what he said when I talked to him. He said, listen, I can take care of her. That ain't no big deal. Right. God bless me with a great job. You know, hey, this is great. So salute to this king for being a man of standard.
Yes.
A mighty man of valor. So you said... You're in Dallas, and as you are trying to navigate what this career is, what have you landed on as far as your career?
So, and this is where I got some like backlash.
Yep.
Because I always wanted to be a content creator. There has not been a time where I didn't want to do media, social media, TV, whatever it was. I always wanted to create some type of content. That doesn't just mean phone. We're creating content right now, and this is going to be on YouTube. And we got cameras and lights, and this is big. So whatever realm that meant to me, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create content. I feel like I have a great personality for TV, for the internet, for any entity of content creation. So that's what I really wanted to pursue. It took me a while to actually lock in. So, and that's where the therapy came in. That's where the fun, therapy came in. Nothing major, just a little bit of couples therapy, just a little bit of accountability. Because he was like, I've given you all the tools. The man got me a vlogging camera, a new phone, the lighting, the vanity set, backdrop for my, like literally everything. He moved me into a high rise. I also said that in a video for better lighting. And I still was like, well, babe, I need one more thing. Oh, babe, I need this. Babe, I need the better makeup. I need it was always something. And it came to a point where it was just like, do you really want that for yourself? Like, what are you doing?
Which is understandable.
Like, he was so frustrated with me. Like, I got to keep it real with y'all.
Yeah.
I got to keep it real. He was so frustrated with me, and it hurt in therapy to hear this man be like, the girl's doing nothing.
And how long was that? How long, when did you start feeling the frustration arise? Was it like 6 months, a year? What was it?
I'm going to honestly say like a year in.
Because he gave you a whole year.
He did. I was chilling. I'm not going to hold you. Baby, when I say soft life, I was barely even picking. I wasn't even kicking my legs up. I was just laying down. I was not doing a thing. And I also said in the video, like, he didn't even expect me to cook or clean or anything like that. I really was like on vacation. So
when he didn't expect it, did you step up and still do it?
Not until like year 2. I'm being real. So you just be sitting at home doing nothing relaxing all day. Doing nothing. Relaxing. Was you making videos? Sometimes. No, seriously. I was in school for 5 years because I had a double major. Okay. So I worked hard in school, okay? And I was just like... Did you get your degree? I did. And what you get a degree in? Psychology and communications. And so you had these 2 degrees doing nothing for a whole year. I wanted to relax. No, seriously. No, this is really sounding bad, but I'm just being real. No, it's real. It shows the patience of your king. Yes. He's a very patient man. I was just relaxing, and I really was just like living the soft life. Like, I really was. I just wasn't recording it. And I really could have been recording my like real everyday life. Yeah. And it would have really went viral then. Yeah. But I really wasn't doing anything. And then that's when it caused some friction, and we started going to couples therapy. That's when I was able to be like, oh my God, this does look so bad. Like, when you have somebody else like telling you, another black woman, we have a black woman therapist. Yeah. She's like, well, Erica, she's just a sweet lady. She's so soft-spoken. She's like, well, Erica, you really aren't doing anything for Trayvon. And I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. So you ain't doing nothing for this man. I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. So that's when I kind of like stepped my cookies up before they crumbled. Okay. Yeah. I can't have this a good man right here. The girls can't have this man. I'm not playing. The girls can't have him. Okay. So I said, whether I gotta cook, clean, this, that, figure out what I want to do with my life, I'm going to do it. So that's where I had to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not one of the, I'm from Baltimore. I'm not from like a super southern place where you just know how to cook from diapers. No, I really did not know how to cook like that. So I had to learn. He's not a picky man. So, you know, it was easy for him to, you know, grow and learn with me in that area. I just had to like grow up. I honestly think I was just growing up like the regular girl in her 20s, but I was just living with the man while I was doing it. So it just made me look bad, but I was only 22. Like, I'm not supposed to be this, you know, fulfilled girl.
Which was interesting. I was saying that, did he move you to Dallas with a plan of saying, hey, I want to marry you? Mm-hmm. And what did you say about that? Okay.
So yes, we did have two different ideas of when we should get married. I grew up in church. My daddy is an assistant pastor and my grandfather is the bishop. Okay. I don't have no business living with no men. And my parents probably watching this right now. Mommy, daddy, I'm so sorry. Y'all know I don't mean harm by it. Okay. The Lord is working on me. But we have two different upbringings. My parents have been married for almost 30 years, and they say marriage is not perfect, but theirs is 2 points away. They really have a successful, beautiful marriage. They are still so in love. And I think watching that when you're so young, you think like, I got to be married as soon as possible. Yeah. All the women in my family are married.
They got married young?
Yes.
Like what age?
Like 21.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A lot of people in your family got married?
Yes. You get married young in my family. Yes. Mm-hmm. So if I'm honest, this may be a little controversial. I don't know. I don't really care. But when I went to college, I went there intentional about finding a husband.
Oh, that's what the white women do.
That's what the white girls do. The black girls don't do that.
Yeah.
And the girls be under my videos, oh, how do you find a good man? Baby, when I went to college, I had my thinking cap on and I said, we all here for a sole purpose of getting us a good job. This is the perfect place to find you a black king. Why? Y'all not thinking. Y'all coming in here trying to pledge all the sororities and go to the parties. Baby, I'm here to find my man. Okay? I don't have time to play with y'all. I'm tired.
So did you meet him in college?
I did.
Okay.
I did. My freshman year, I met him in college. And I swear, like, when I saw him, I was like, that's my man. And I told all my homegirls, I'm like, I love him. When I first saw him.
When you told me that story, I said, girl, no, you did not say that. You said, yes, I did. But when you dating somebody else at the time?
I was. That wasn't anybody's business. That was between us.
Oh, that's between us. Okay. So she wasn't dating nobody else at the time. She just saw him and said, I love him.
Look, I'm a firm believer in don't let your boyfriend get in the way of your husband. Okay. Now, who I was talking to at the time, he didn't have the qualifications that I was looking for
the job description. And so you saw him. What about Trayvon did you look at and say, I love him?
Oh,
use those words.
Mm-hmm. Because I just saw him, I didn't know him.
Of course.
It was just based off of like looks and his aura. Like it was literally how he walked into a room and everybody literally was just like he was just so mysterious. He was so quiet and to himself.
So what, you was attracted to the quiet boy, not the frat boy,
But he is a frat boy. And that used to stress me out. Oh my God. College was so stressful. He is a frat boy. So the quietness fooled me in the beginning. I said, oh yeah, he's so quiet into himself. He's going to be, oh my God, such a gentleman. Oh baby, he was a gentleman to get me. But when it was time to really get into the thick of the relationship, the frat boy came out. So yeah, in college, we met my freshman year. We tried to do the situationship thing. Like I said, the frat boy came out. I had to leave him alone.
Yeah.
I had to let God have his way. And I got into another relationship and literally I would see this man over around campus and I'm just like, that's my man. Like I'm supposed to be with him. And people always ask me like, how did you know he was going to have money? Like, how did you know he was going to be successful? The way that he was punctual to class, like he was very organized. He had mentors in his fraternity that were already well off.
That's good.
I used to listen to conversations. Ladies.
So you listen to conversations?
Yes. Y'all have to listen. Y'all have to.
Erica, you smart.
I'm very intentional about everything that I do. Okay.
You said you was listening to him talking to his mentors.
I sure was. And one of the mentors was like, when you graduate, I can have you making over 6 figures as soon as you graduate. Baby, my ears perked up real quick. I said, oh.
It's so crazy.
My ears perked up. Okay. I said, this is supposed to be my man. Like, I feel it. I know it. And of course, it has nothing to do with just money.
Right.
He always treated me like a literal princess. Like I can say something out of my mouth and it will appear the next day. Like, he's always been that way. And I grew up with a daddy. Like, my dad is the same way for his daughters. So I kind of perceive relationships different than other young black girls because I had a dad in my life. And that's what I realized lately is like a lot of my homegirls feel the way that they do about black men in love because they're dad.
Yeah. They didn't have a relationship with their father, so their relationship with men is a little skewed.
Yes.
And they come from it. Some of them come from a negative perspective.
Yes.
And so they're like, oh, these men can't be trusted. They can't do blah, 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 blah. And so they exude that same energy. And then they start attracting the very thing that they say they don't want.
Literally.
And then they don't realize that they're the common denominator in each relationship. But by you having a healthy perspective of what a relationship looks like, then you felt like you could have that for yourself.
Right.
And you literally manifested that into your life.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to have my daughter on the podcast and she said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? She got married at the age of 26.
I love that for her.
And so this is 1 year marriage, and unfortunately, I didn't like that. She was living with her boyfriend, who later became her husband at the time, and I was just like, "You never seen me live? Why are you doing this?" And God said, "Laterras, she's her own person. You can't try to put that on her. Yes, I still keep the standard, decency and order, but you can't look at it like I failed my daughter because she now is." At the end of the day, she all right.
Oh, my goodness.
As frustrating as that made me, I just had to sit there and be like, I raised her the way I was supposed to raise her. She's a grown person and making decisions.
It's good to hear that perspective because for the longest, I was thinking like, do my parents feel like I failed them? Like, do they feel like I'm literally a failure of a daughter? Like,
no, they don't. And I'm gonna tell you, they'll never feel like you're a failure of a daughter. They just look at it as saying that I wish this would have been different. So it's because at the end of the day, man, I've watched my son-in-law cover my daughter in ways that I'm sitting up there like, man, I'm like, bruh, if my whole goal was for her to find somebody that loves her unconditionally, am I going to get that frustrated that the process to get there wasn't ideal? Right. You know what I'm saying? And if my daughter could have the same level of grace for me on bad decisions that I made, then why can't I give her the same measure of grace?
I love that perspective.
And so at the same sense, it's like one thing that you said that was very powerful about your father. How does your father think of Trayvon? Yeah, so my dad loves him. My daddy, and that means the world to me because I value my daddy's opinion. Mamas, they always soft. They don't care who you bring home. They're like, he a nice man. You're cutting some slack. But you give her that.
But my daddy, oh my Lord, my dad never paid attention to any of my relationships really because he just felt like, he ain't gonna be here.
Yeah, he just ain't invest in that.
Yes, the way that he speaks about Trayvon, the way that he literally just like brags on him, like he really he knows that he's a great man. Yeah. So he did tell me like, I don't approve of you living with a man, but I wouldn't feel comfortable if it was any other man. Like, because he's a good man, you know what? Hats off to him. Like, he's taking care of you. Like, I'm giving the baton to him. Like, I trust him with your life. So that's what meant the world to me. And that's what made me say, like, okay, this is like who I'm supposed to be with.
So why do you feel that? Why did you question whether or not they felt like you were a failure?
Because I know that they love him, but we so deep in church. Like, I love the Lord so bad. I really, really, really do. And I think sometimes it's my own conviction as well. That's probably really what it is. Like, my parents can sleep at night fine. It just is what it is. But it's my own conviction. It's like, I really try to, get back on track with my relationship with God. And I'm like, it's this one thing that I feel like is holding me back from just being this, almost perfect woman. You know what I'm saying?
Almost perfect.
Because no, sir, like I really don't do. I'm not a drinker. I don't smoke. I don't like partying. I've never been that type of person. But I feel like that's probably the only thing that I'm like, ugh. God is probably like, girl, my daughter, what are you doing? So yeah.
So where are y'all at when it comes to that? Because I know y'all have had some serious conversations.
Yes.
I talked to Trayvon about that. He was like, well, I ain't trying to rush nothing. I ain't trying to do that. And one thing that I do respect is the fact that he said, we're in counseling. We're going to deal with some stuff early before we get married. So that's why I said it's a catch-22 because it's like saying, I love the fact that you're wise about putting the processes and procedures in place for therapy early on. I'm not a fan of the fact that you're working through the process in a cohabitation situation. Right. Of course, my whole podcast, I sit there, are you still shacking? I don't even like nobody watching my podcast and ain't subscribed. So I'm definitely not going I ain't going to be a fan of cohabitation and the person's not married because I understand what the power of marriage is. And I also know the power of what happens if the breakup is greater if y'all live together. Like if I was dating somebody and we broke up, then and we lived in our respective places, and then we just break up. Right. I may have a couple of items at their house. I may go pick up some pajamas or some drawers that's over there or something. She might come to my house and pick up a curling iron or some whatever she do her hair. But it's easy. If you sit there and be like, so where you going? Because this is over. Where you going? You like, well, hold on. Well, when you want me to leave? I'm giving you. It took you a week. I moved you here in a week. I'm gonna give you a week to leave.
It makes it messy. It does make it.
And you sitting there like, and then you feel different. He put me out of our house. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
we got a dog together.
Who gonna split up the dog?
Right.
You're making
co-parenting with a dog.
You're making marriage decisions in a breakup that was supposed to be just a simple breakup. So it's those type of things. But one thing that I got from Trayvon, talking from man to man, he is on his heart's posture is marrying you. Yes. That's what I got.
It is.
So my thing about it, that's the reason why I say I have to remove my own personal feelings out of it and go, in the day, that's what it is. Because the truth be told, I didn't live with the woman that I got married to. But then I cheated on her in marriage. So then do I sit there and go, well, listen, I'm better than y'all. At least we didn't live together. And you go, but you cheated on your wife. That's beside the point. But the thing about it, I didn't live with her. And you like, but I ain't never cheated on my spouse. We did stuff a little out of order, but we got married and we never cheated on each other. I was like, but still the way y'all got there, like what I look like. That's what the Bible talks about, looking at the splint in someone else's eye and not recognizing the boulder in your own. And so at the end of the day, I will always stand 10 toes on what biblical principles are, and then I go and make your own decisions. And that's why I say your parents, I can speak on their behalf, and I know I'm not wrong when I say this. No, that's not ideal for them, but then they go, but you got a good dude. And those two that's the duality of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I don't like the fact that y'all did that. Yeah. But if it was anybody, I'm glad it was him. You know what I'm saying? It's like the duality of it. And that's why I say in maturity, we have to live in that mentality to be able to say, this is what it was. We don't like it, but y'all gonna learn on your own. Yeah.
I feel like in the beginning of our relationship, like I said, we had two different ideas of when we should get married. I wanted to get married as soon as remotely possible. I really did. But in
your situation, when did you want to get married?
I wanted to get married when I was about 23.
Okay, so after you graduated college?
Yes, after I graduated college, and I was like a year of living with him.
Oh, so you was already living with him at that time.
Yeah.
So you said, well, the first year, let's get married.
Yeah,
so it wasn't like when he was moving there, you like, I'm moving there, but you need to marry me within 6 months.
No, I wasn't thinking that because I felt like we just were getting to know each other again, like literally. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like I wanted to get married so quick, and the girls probably like, girl, he manipulated you. But honestly, he really had to like tell me, let's not do this so fast and get divorced within the next 3 years. Like, can we really figure out who we are as individuals before we are one? Can we be two whole people and not two halves trying to make a whole? Like, we gotta make sense of our own lives before we make a commitment like that, because we know what comes after marriage. A small baby, a small chocolate baby. And I do want one so bad, but we really had to do the work. And now that I look back, the man was right. And this is why I trust the man with my life, because he was right. Oh my goodness. When I think back on a 23-year-old me, I would have been in shambles as a wife. I would have been in shambles. But now that I'm 25, I'll be 26 this year. I know that's still so young, but I have had so many different like epiphanies. Like, I really see life for what it really is now. I know myself a different way. I love myself a different way. I'm ready to be a wife.
Who encouraged therapy?
I did.
Why?
And I booked it. Because when he used to explain like how he felt like I was being lazy and stuff, I felt like he was trying to come at me. So I was like, okay, who are you talking to? You know? So I really got the therapist to kind of be on my side.
So you thought?
This lady was in there like, Erica, you're not doing a thing. I'm just like, baby, I'm not booking you no more. Like, she really got me together. She got me together. But yes, I booked it for that reason. Literally right after, I think it was his 25th birthday. And he had said it again, like, hey, like, I'm 25 now. I see myself marrying you, but like, what are you doing?
You're doing nothing.
And I'm like, this man want to keep dangling marriage in my face. I saw a video of Judge Lynn Toller. She was on the Breakfast Club, and she was like, a man will always dangle that ring in your face. So I'm feeling real gas, like, oh yeah, Judge Lynn Toller said, you playing with me, blah, blah, blah. So I literally booked the lady, and she was like, no, you are not ready to be married. Like, are you crazy? Like, and now when I look back, I'm like, yeah, I was not ready for that.
Why weren't you ready?
I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know who Erica was. Isn't that so scary? Like, I can look back and not even remember why I did some of the things that I don't even like really remember. It was just like a blur. I do not know who I was. I didn't really love myself. How somebody else felt about me dictated how I felt about myself. That's good. So the people that were around him, this about to be too good. The people that were around him used to question him, like, why her? Why you want to take care of her? Like, what's she doing for you? Blah, blah, blah. You better spend your money on her, blah, blah. You're not getting no return on your investment. When I used to hear people say that, I started to believe it. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I'm not worth a man doing nice things for me. Maybe I'm not worth this. Like, I used to believe it, and I used to feel so low. And that's probably why when he used to come to me and be like, babe, you're being lazy, I'm like, everybody's coming at me. And I really used to start to be like, am I lazy? Am I really like worthless? Am I like, do I not deserve any of this? But I can honestly say, like, people always say when you turn 25, it's like a light bulb just turns on. When I turned 25, people still had things to say. People around him still had things to say, like, why her? You still taking care of this girl? A light bulb went off and said, yes, of course it's me. Of course. No other woman takes care of this man the way that I do. Not one. If this man today said, I don't want to be with Erica no more, where you going to find another? Where?
But you evolved into that woman.
I evolved into that woman. I did, but still.
So back then, was that good reason? When they said what they said, was you able, when you hindsight been 2020, you look back and be like, yeah, because I really didn't add much value to his life.
You know what? Yeah, maybe so. Okay, maybe so. But still, you don't tell a young girl that. Judging me. Maybe so. I didn't know I had potential to be like an amazing woman.
Was you very selfish back then?
I was.
Did he ever say you were selfish?
He did.
Exactly. And when you heard it, how did you respond?
Hired a therapist. Because baby, I'm not... Certainly not me.
The therapist gonna let you know that I'm an amazing woman. Right, I'm not selfish and I'm not lazy. Oh, what you say, therapist? Oh, I ain't gonna hire you no more. Right. You done told the truth.
She got me. She gathered me a lot. She did, but it's not that those people were right, because I was not a worthless person.
No, not worthless at all.
I just didn't know myself. We were just so young doing grown people things. Facts. That's just where it starts and stops. I didn't have no business living with nobody's son. Yeah. I just didn't. Yeah. So it's not that I'm not a great girlfriend or a great candidate. I'm just doing grown lady things as a like little girl. Yep. You know? Yep. So like I said, I used to believe everything that somebody would say. Like everything.
So when you look over this relationship and when y'all talk about marriage, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like you're getting what you desire out of the relationship, and you feel like there's a healthy timetable with when marriage is going to come. I don't know how deep conversations y'all have had about that.
Oh, we get deep. We have really, really, really hard conversations, like really hard conversations. And I think that's where a lot of younger relationships go wrong. Everybody wants to talk about what's cute and fun and hot. Like, we literally be like, okay, so when we have kids, are we going to church every Sunday? Because I was raised real strict Christian. Your mother probably barely went to church. Like, we literally have like tough conversations. And we may get into a little, arguing about it, but it's like at the end of the day, we had to have it. So when it comes to the marriage timeline, I do feel like I'm getting what I need out of this relationship, and what I want is a very healthy relationship. When it comes to the marriage timeline, I would like to be proposed to by December 31st, 2024, which is this year.
Amen. Trayvon's still on his phone. He's like, all right.
Which is
He's
the end
scrolling
of
on
this
Instagram
year.
right now saying, well,
because we've been together for 4 years, and I always say like over more than 5 years as a girlfriend is kind of crazy. Like, a man knows, stop playing with me. So, and I came up with that timeline when I came more secure with myself, because at first I was like, oh no, I can't lose him. I can't. No, like, if he really would like to marry me, if he does not want to marry me within the timeline that I'm giving, yes, I'm gonna cry my eyes out. I'm gonna be so heartbroken, but I know my value, and I do understand that I can be an asset to someone else out in the world. You know what I'm saying?
do you feel like your living situation will make that timeline stretch? Would you be like, hey, where I'm gonna go?
No, I would not.
Where you gonna go?
I would buy me my own apartment. I can get my own apartment.
All right, right now you making money. Where you gonna get your own place?
I can get my own place right
Okay.
now at this particular time. And that's another thing that the girls be in my comments about. It's older women. I'm not gonna say the girls. It's older women that try to mask it with like, oh, I'm concerned. But it's like, no, you hating on me. You hating on me. Like, for real. Because if he leave you today, what you gonna do? I lived on myself before. I have not 1, but 2 degrees. Okay. I have a savings account. I'm a content creator. I make money. I can get my own place.
What they say they concerned for you?
I'm so concerned because, sister, is he gonna?
They think you're gonna be homeless?
You think I'm gonna be somewhere outside homeless?
like your parents just disappeared now?
My parents just gone. I can go back to Baltimore. If anything fail, I can go back to Baltimore. I would never. I don't think I would ever move back to Baltimore, but I can get my own place. I can live. I can thrive. I may not be in a penthouse or whatever like we in now, but I could live.
Good.
I could live.
What have you learned about yourself? Our relationships serve as mirrors that reflect us to ourselves. So what have you learned about yourself in this 4 years? It's been 4 years, 4-year relationship.
I've learned that I'm such a passionate person. I'm so passionate. I'm a nurturer. I nurse him back to health. Okay.
Good.
This man had COVID in the thick of it all. And I single-handedly nursed that man back to health.
That's good.
I am a nurturing woman. Once I'm in, I am all in. I'm super passionate. I'm a very rambunctious woman. And I feel like I used to shy away from like being talkative, and I come from a very old school background. Like I said, my daddy used to always say, don't no man want no mouthy woman. He used to always say, hey, no man want no nagging mouthy woman. And I was like, Daddy, please. Okay. I'ma talk.
Trayvon, nod your head if you're safe. Do you feel like
Blink twice if you okay.
Blink twice if you okay. Does her mouthiness bother you? Yes or no? No. See, that's what I'm saying. People have the capacity for whatever it is that they desire.
Right.
It's that thing that he may say, that's sexy, but I just like to see her just talk. You know what I'm saying?
He thinks I'm so funny.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's why sometimes, even your father, he didn't want a mouthy woman, especially in that old school mentality. People, they had the mentality of wives are supposed to be seen and not heard. You know what I'm saying? And they train kids to be the same thing. Kids, y'all supposed to be seen and not heard.
Right.
And it's like, so now you've muted me. What if God wanted me to be some great congresswoman or senator where I'm speaking, where my passion? I saw a post on Instagram the other day that said, to the people, how many of y'all were told, how many of y'all saw on y'all report card talks too much and what do you do for a living? And I commented under there, I said I have one of the biggest podcasts in the world about relationships. But that's what I was always told. Terrence talk too much in class. He talk too much. And to the woman that talks too much, you may have told Oprah she talks too much.
Right.
And then you just muted Oprah, and then Oprah becomes Oprah, or whatever that career path be. Somebody may be a trainer at their company where they stand up and they give talks to new hires or whatever, and they're good at they have oratory skills. That's their skill set. And so I always say that we have to be careful about what we say to our kids because now we're disqualifying them from the person that God may qualify them for. So, and I understand why he said it because it's even biblical. The Bible says that it's better to live on the roof or the corner of your house than share the home with a quarrelsome woman. So it depends. Are you just talkative or are you complaining all the time?
Or combative.
And combative.
I think that's, see, my daddy knows my personality. He loves who I am. So I don't think he's ever trying to shy me away from what I'm really supposed to be. But I was raised to be a wife. So certain things that he raised me, my sister and I on was, don't combat with your man. Like that's what he meant by that. You can be a talkative woman if you want to. You know, I'm a social girl. But when it comes to your man, if you really trust your man's leadership, trust that man. Sometimes 100%. You got to pick and choose your battles and just mind your business. But in my relationship, there have been times where I'm like, babe, you sure? You sure? And he just like, he stopped like combating me on and I'm like, that's what my daddy was talking about. Let me go ahead and shut up. Okay, because he got us this far. So, but if your man don't really know what all is going on, say something. Say something, girl. But, you know. So
you said you basically trust his leadership.
I do. I do. So I'm going to be quiet.
If a woman don't trust his leadership, say something.
Girl, talk. Tell
me, you finna take us over the cliff.
Okay.
Oh, God, dog.
Girl,
off the cliff.
Scream. Okay.
On your TikToks and social media, what kind of content do you post?
Me talking just like this. Me talking. I try to I shy away from like the get ready with me because I have a little bit more. I have a little bit more substance, and I'm not saying the girls don't have substance. I just have something to say. So I made you like a get ready with me, but I'm literally like reading you for filth. Like I'm doing a get ready with me, but I'm like, girl, why are you blah blah blah? You know. So I have something to say always. So basically, it may be a day in the life of a 25-year-old stay-at-home girlfriend. It may be a get ready with me while I'm talking. It may be just a random thought. I may show his office. I may do like a house tour or something like that. You know, whatever really comes to my brain. I don't have like a niche. Like I don't have a one thing that I do.
So what do people say about you? Like your loyal following, why do they listen to you?
I have a lot of Black women that follow me and love me for my opinion.
What age range would you say they are?
I think the oldest I really have is like women that's like 35, but the youngest is like 18.
So normally your demographic is around from 18 to around your age group. And what do they like about you?
That I'm a really say it how I want to say it. And I'm baby, just know when you get on my live, because I go live a lot too. Just know when you get on my live, you may not like what I have to say, but you needed to hear that. So
you be coming for them?
I don't come for them, but I do have an opinion when it comes to how women move and why. Y'all don't eat me up in the comments. But a lot of the reasons why like women are single is because something they're doing.
So you feel like it's something they're doing? Sometimes
really,
yes.
Like,
give me an example.
So I really told the girls. So they may be like, how do I find a good man? And I call my girl Savannah, you know, like he a good man, Savannah.
So, yeah, good man,
I call my girl Savannah. So they may be like, Savannah, how did you find your good man? Where do I find a good man? And I'm like, the issue is you're not focused on yourself. I honestly feel like if you pour into what you need to be doing, you're going to find that good man. God is telling you, you need to go to the gym. And you somewhere in a daggone In-N-Out drive-through. Go to that gym. Your good man is daggone cleaning off the weights right now as we speak. God has been telling you to eat clean. And you at Walmart getting meat. And you're supposed to be at Whole Foods getting salad. Your husband is in the daggone seasonings aisle. I told the girls, like, if you just focus on yourself and pour into yourself, things will come to you. But when you just so like eager to find, I'm looking. Men can smell desperation.
So when you were in college, you didn't think you was in that desperation phase?
I wasn't desperate. I was laid back. I was letting the man come. I was telling my homegirls I love him so bad, but how I was acting to him, baby, I was ghosting him. He had to pull up on me. I was walking to 7-Eleven with my homegirl. This man pulled up on me and was like, you ain't see my text message? I sat back.
So you was trying to play games?
No, a man is just a hunter.
No, I'm talking about you said you.
I'm not about to give him the food. He needs to hunt.
So you said you would see him texting and just ignore his text.
I had a busy day.
You had no busy day. You had to sit there looking at his text.
I wanted to see, because with him, I kind of did shoot the first shot. I did.
How?
I saw him in like the little community barbershop thing. And I was just like, I told the barber, I was like, make sure you get him right. You know, I was just being cute and flirting. And then I saw him again and I was like, I like your outfit. And he was so dry. And he was like, I appreciate you.
Well, that's not shooting your shot, though.
That is, as a girl, that's shooting your shot.
No, that's just a compliment.
But that's shooting your shot. That's me shooting my shot because I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing.
So you felt like that's shooting your shot to give a man a compliment.
Mm-hmm. And he caught the ball.
So this is what I say. I say shooting shot is please compliment. It's okay to compliment. Be like, oh, hey, I think that you look nice today. But shooting shot to me is when you literally say, can I have your phone number?
Oh,
can I call you sometime? Laterras, can I take you out sometime? You done shot that. Well, if you give me a compliment, that's a compliment.
Oh. Well, I thought that was shooting my shot.
You say, because you can just sit there and say you look handsome and keep on walking,
right?
And then he goes, because you got to think about it. If that's the case, then women of the olden days were shooting their shots when they was dropping the handkerchief. What they were doing is, so it's this quote that God gave me in 2022. I said, men should pursue and not persuade, and a woman should present and not pursue. So that's presentation. At the end of the day, if a woman drops her handkerchief, where it happens in the olden days, and the dude will walk by and grab the handkerchief and pick it up and say, ma'am, you dropped this. And then he'll lock eyes with her. He'll go, oh. And then he'll go, ma'am, are you with anyone? And she's like, no, I'm not. I'm single. And then he goes, well, if you don't mind, can I walk you home? And then they go walk home and get to talking or whatever. Yeah. At the end of the day, she threw the little handkerchief down on purpose.
So maybe I didn't shoot my shot. I threw my handkerchief.
You threw your handkerchief. You threw the handkerchief.
I threw a handkerchief.
All you did was like, hey, make sure you get him right. You know what I'm saying?
And I was like, I like your outfit.
I like your outfit. He like, all right. So next thing you know, that hunter gonna get it. He's like, I want you. So then he started doing what?
Oh, he blowing the phone up. And I didn't even realize him and I were a part of the same like campus organization.
Well, how did he get your phone number?
Right, because we were a part of the same campus organization.
Oh, so you just looked on the list and got you?
No, we had to give each other our numbers for the group chat.
Okay.
So he saved his name in my phone. When I got back to my dorm after I told him I liked his outfit and he was so dry, I for sure thought he didn't like me. But when I got back to my dorm room, I got a text from him. The way he saved his number in my phone, it was Trey with a Kappa diamond. And I was like, he was like, my frat bros and I are going to have a little kickback tonight. You want to come? Baby, I almost passed out. I ran to my homegirl room. I said, girl, get dressed now. We got somewhere to go tonight. And me and my homegirls went, and he was in my face the whole night. The whole night. And he was like, promise me you're going to come back, because they had another one the next day. He like, promise me you're going to come back tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. He was just like being a hunter. And I love that for him. You know?
I love that for him.
I had to see what I always say, I never tell somebody what to do. I want to see what they really want to do. Like, I'm never going to sit there and be pressed for a man. Like, even because I was pressed in the inside. I wanted that man some man, okay? I was pressed in the inside real bad. But to him, I was just like, oh no. He was like, you want to come to my dorm room tonight? Oh, I don't do that. I'm a church girl.
But you're like, gosh,
right, like
that. I want to be there so bad.
So I was, just
you try playing cool.
Playing it cool.
Giving your besties the play-by-play.
Right. And I'm telling them like, girl, he texted me again, blah, blah, blah. They knew I was so pressed. They knew I was pressed.
And so what you're saying is that for a woman to the single woman to get into a relationship, she should do what? Not act so thirsty, and then do what?
Live.
So live your best life. Be focused on you, building your life, getting yourself in the best of health.
Yes.
Because you made comments about you over here focused on this, eating food that's making you, obese when you could be having a healthier, cleaner diet. So you're saying your recommendation is focus on becoming a better you so you can manifest the best version of the mate that you want. Literally.
Because yes, I so happen to get my man early on in life, but if I was a single woman at 23, I probably wouldn't have been able to find like a decent man based on what I was giving off. Like, I'm just being real. Based on what I was giving off, I was literally a brat that like didn't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to deal with that.
I'm glad you're self-aware. I like how self-aware you are.
And you have to be self-aware. That's another thing I always tell the girls. Stop maneuvering through life like you do no wrong. Like, tell yourself, oh, girl, I'm so selfish as a partner. I'm this as a partner. Like, you have to, in order to find that person.
Yeah.
If you don't, Young Van Zandt said it so well. She said, if you don't want to deal with you, what makes you think somebody else wants to? You don't even like you. What makes you think somebody want to deal with that?
Well, the truth is most people don't know that they don't like themselves.
Right.
They won't be self-aware and honest with themselves and be like, I get on my own nerves.
Right.
I had Melissa Fredericks on and she said the same thing. So I have to be honest with myself. I get on my own nerves.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? But how many people will admit that? Most people say, I'm great. I love my own company. Right. I take myself out on my own dates. I can travel solo dates. I love my presence. And when you get to that level, that's amazing. But what about those that don't? What about the people that don't like their own company, that they feel like they're a failure if they do go out to eat by themselves?
Right.
I always say that that's one of the most confident things that I see. If I go to a restaurant and I see a beautiful woman sitting there having dinner by herself, I'm like, she's doing this by choice.
Right.
Because she's bad. But she ranks high in my mind because I go, she's beautiful and she can enjoy her own company.
Yes. And that's the place that I wanted to get to as a woman. I wanted to get to a place where I just like me.
Yeah.
I like me. I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. And I literally am there now. I could care less about what his homeboys got to say. Oh, you still taking care of her? Yes, he is. And he loves it here. He's living a great life, okay? Everything that he's given me, I give back to him.
Good.
I pour into him as a man. I support his dreams. I support his goals. He got it good over here just as much as I got it good. But it took me a while to get there.
When you think about your December deadline, do you have fear?
Yes, I do. I'm preparing myself for like, I told my viewers this last year. I told them girls any and everything. I probably got to stop telling them my business. But I told them this last year. I said, next year is going to be such a huge year for me. Like, I felt it. Like, I'm like, next year is going to be a life-changing year for me. It's either I'm going to be preparing to be somebody's wife or preparing to be single.
You know, one thing that I get from Trayvon when I talk to him, you can't make that man do nothing.
You can't. Oh my gosh.
So if he decides to propose you because he want to, it ain't gonna be based on your ultimatum.
Literally.
Because that joker, when I tell you,
oh my gosh.
Even when I watch them, they like, I hear what she's saying, but
he's not fazed by me at all.
He is unbothered. If unbothered was a person, it's Trayvon over there. He don't give a dang. Trayvon be like, I'll let you talk. I don't care. Because whatever it's in his mind. Whatever's in his mind, he's already made the decision.
Yes.
And even though you're saying that, it's not going to motivate him to do it any faster, and it's not going to make him do whatever.
But that's what's beautiful. I never want to force a man to do anything he doesn't want to do.
Good.
I told him I loved him first. He didn't tell me. And after I told him I loved him first, he didn't say no. You think that man just lied and said, I love you too? No. He waited until he was ready to say, I love you. And at first I was telling my homegirls, like, that man, I said I love him. He ain't saying nothing back. But I'm like, you know what? I want it to be so genuine. Like, I want everything that this man does for me to be literally from the heart.
And I know for a fact that when he proposes to you, it's going to be from the heart. And I know, like, I can read people real quick. So when I talk to him, because I remember I told you, I said, can I just talk to him to see if he want to be on the podcast?
Right,
I said, I want to talk to him. Man, the first 2 minutes, I was like, this boy ain't coming.
It's over.
I said, hey, I'm gonna try. Because I can catch people real quick. I was like, no. And it's okay.
Right.
See, that's the thing about it. When you your own person and you say, I'm not going to do something on account of somebody else, then I got to do nothing. I just got to respect you for that.
You have to respect
because
it.
at the end of the day, that means when that person they're showing up authentically who they are.
But let me ask you this, because now you got like my wheels turning a little bit. And I'm like, because he is such a genuine person, and if he doesn't propose like by my deadline,
should you give him a longer deadline?
Because I know he's so genuine and amazing, and I love him.
The truth be told is this: to thine own self be true. So I always tell people, to thine own self be true, meaning that at the end of the day, if that is your boundary, respect your boundary.
That is my boundary.
And the thing about it is, what's meant to be will be. So at the end of the day, even if, because you got to still be true to yourself.
Right.
So if you say, listen, this is my deadline, it's this day. He doesn't follow through with that. You say, I love you so much. It's going to hurt me to leave, but I got to go. He ain't going to do nothing but respect that too.
Right.
See, a person that truly loves you is going to always respect you, honoring yourself. So then it may end up being January the 15th.
Right.
And he comes around and says, I can't live without you.
Right.
Will you marry me? You didn't make him do that. It was meant to be for you to honor yourself. He still honors himself in the process, and it organically happened the way it did.
Right.
And if it never does come around to that, it was never going to happen anyway.
Right.
See, when we sit there and say, God, I want you to open up doors that no man can shut and shut doors no man can open, we relinquish that authority to God.
Right.
And we say, God, we understand that that if I seek ye first the kingdom of God and your righteousness, all these things shall be added. A spouse is a part of that thing. And so at the end of the day, when you look at the process, you go, no, this is me. This is my own boundary. Because if you don't do that, and then it's 6 years, that you can always keep saying, God, now it's 6 years.
Like
now
I should have just listened to myself then.
Then you'll be like, I should have left back then.
Exactly.
And then he look at you in your face and say, you should have.
Right.
Then you're like, oh my God.
Right. I always tell the girls, leave before you love his dirty drawers. And baby, I already love his dirty drawers. So I just feel like I'm going to be in shambles either way. I'm going to be in shambles. So I am preparing myself mentally because it's not like I'm going to leave him as a partner. I just don't want to be living with him beyond year 5 as a girlfriend. Like, that's just crazy to me.
But what you said though is that you said you would leave him. You said I could just I'll have somebody else. I would cry myself to the separation, and it'll be somebody else then that will. Because
my mindset behind that is, why are you waiting 150,000 years? Like, what? No, like, what else? Look, like, seriously, I really. And maybe it's just because he views marriage different than I am. Like, honestly, and I understand that men have to worry about different things my man got to worry about different things that I worry about. I wake up and be like, oh, what video do I want to post today? And he over here working hard. Like, he worried about taxes and like, it's just, he worried about like grown man things. And I'm over here like cutesy, like, get
ready with me.
Right. Like, what concealer do I want to use today? Like, so I understand that he has bigger fish to fry than I do. I really take that into consideration. Like, I'm not buying my own rock. I'm not paying for the wedding, respectfully. So I understand that he has things. So I take that into consideration.
So I'm gonna speak Trayvon's heart posture, because I can vacillate between me saying, yes, I believe in marriage, and I believe if a man takes too long to marry you, he's showing you where he stands. But I can also, after talking to him, I understand him, and this is what he's saying. Marriage ain't no joke for him.
It's not.
When he gets married to you, divorce is not an option. And when I say this, I want you to nod my head if I'm incorrect. That marriage is serious to you, right? That you're not just going to take some vows and mismanage her heart and think that divorce is an option if it don't work out. So you're also saying that you are doing the due diligence to make sure that you can excavate anything that can cause a divorce in the future. Let's deal with it head on, so that we're going into this marriage not blindly, but at least the issues that you know that you see before you saying, I can accept these. If these never change, I can still accept this as my wife. But if these things, the things that will prevent me from marrying you, we need to fix that now. He's nodding his head every step of the way, 100%. Because he values marriage that much. So it's not like he's sitting around saying, I don't even see you as my wife.
Right.
Because if he didn't even see you as his wife, that dude, he would have never moved you there.
I understand
So
that.
this is facts. I can speak on his behalf because I talked to him for a couple of minutes and got it. I got the way he moves, the way he thinks. He wouldn't even have brought you there. Another thing that you don't understand that runs really deep with him, and I asked him a question before when we had that conversation, I understand, is the relationship he has with your father. When a man has a relationship with your father, the accountability he has to cover you, protect you, and to honor you is really deep with him. Because he wouldn't have it. He'll avoid every conversation with you.
Right.
If he had bad intentions with you, this man ain't gonna have no relationship with your daddy.
Right.
Why? Because a man can see through another man. He would
true.
hide. He'll be like, man, I don't want to talk to your daddy.
Right.
I don't want to meet your daddy. I don't know what we doing with each other. I don't want to meet your daddy. It makes sense. Because another dude look at you, man, why you wasting my daughter time, man? Why you wasting my daughter time?
Yeah.
But your own father said that. Why? Because men can see other men.
They can.
That's the reason why I can look at this dude and know he's a good guy. I can look at this dude and know he has good intentions with you. I can look at it. But I can also look at you and say, if your boundaries are your boundaries, honor your boundaries. Because a good guy ain't going to be scared of your boundaries.
Right.
A good guy will welcome your boundaries and say, baby, that's what you're supposed to do. Do
Yeah.
it. Like he ain't scared of, boy, I'm about to shout right now. He ain't scared of you holding on to your boundaries.
Yeah,
he's not scared of it. So he said, do what you got to do. That's why when we're having this conversation, I cut my eyes at him. He's just sitting there like, she can give me ultimatums all he wants. That's not going to make him do nothing no sooner. Ain't going to make him do nothing no. When he decides to do what he do, and guess what? It may end up coming sooner than you think. But you best believe it's going to be because he knows beyond a shadow of a doubt he is about to take that path.
Right.
Because the one thing that happens that people don't understand is the man is the one that has to ask that question. I ain't talking about that crazy stuff you see on social media with these women proposing to men, which I always say, women, don't you ever in your life propose to a man. That is the dumbest thing you could ever do. That's the dumbest thing. I don't care who it is and what ideology you got. Well, I had to give him some motivation. That is foolish. Don't ever propose to a dude. The man has to go through this process where, like you said, I don't understand the path of a man. You said, shoot, he got to go buy a ring. Yes. And he knows his little boo thing is a little high maintenance.
Just a little bit.
Just a little tad bit. And he knows that once he proposes to you, you're going to put the ring on social media and be like,
I'm going to show all the girls.
Yeah. You're going to do all this little Beyonce stuff. And he knows that he got to put something in your hand that you're proud of.
I know.
Because he knows that everybody, based on the person that he's dating, has now put this private man publicly.
I know.
And so that every decision that he makes that you decide to put on social media is judged by the world. He's thinking of all that. So then he says, all right, well, if I do this, I got to do it. I know she's going to do this. It's probably going to be some content. It's probably going to be this. It's going to do this. So I got to make sure that I do this right. And if it's going to be some content, I ain't finna go marry this woman and the next year I divorce her. That's going to be content too. Right. Now people going to be like, hey, sorry, dude. He gaslighted her. This narcissistic dude moved all the way to Dallas and then got her. And then that's content.
It is. I'm like, day in the life of a 26-year-old divorcee. Crying.
Am I lying? Am I reading your heart properly? Head nodding over there, yes. Yeah, that's the reality. So he sits there with his analytical mind and goes, I'm watching this. I'm watching how she's moving. I'm watching what she's doing. I'm watching to see if she can make a good living off of this stuff. She's doing this cool. I don't want no woman that's just lazy. I want her to be able to chase her dreams. I'm giving her support. I'm going to see how consistent she is.
You talking like you him. Hold on.
Man, when
that
I tell you,
like
it don't take no time for me to understand another man.
That's really what he was saying.
He said, I want to see how consistent you are.
Yeah.
Let me see if you're consistent. Let's
it's
see.
My consistency.
I see you do this. I hear you talk about, let's see how long that lasts.
You read me for Phil. Please.
So he's looking at that. So he said, let me see how consistent she be. Okay, she get excited. She do this or whatever. Let's see how consistent she be.
This cute now.
It's cute right now. Let's see if that weather. Because when he says, I do to you, he's saying, I'm due to you forever.
Yes.
So if you shaky now, let it be shaky now. And let's go ahead and end this now. Because I ain't finna waste my time fighting over you trying to become your best self.
Right.
And I'm fighting against you. And I'm showing you that I got the full support to help you become everything that you said you want to be. But I can't live my life through you.
Yes.
And I can't live your life for you. So if you want to do this, do it. I got you. No excuses. Yeah. Show me consistency. Because that consistency as a woman, as a girlfriend, manifests itself as a wife, and the most important thing, even as a mother. So if you're not consistent in this, you talking about having kids, like, baby, you show me consistency, because a child needs a consistent mom.
Yes.
So show me that. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? Thumbs up.
You're a little bit passionate over there. That's enough.
And that's the reality. And so the thing about it is that, does he love you? Absolutely. Does he believe you the one? Absolutely. But he wants you to believe that you're the one.
Right.
Can you show that you can be a wife? Can you show? Because that's not something that can be taken lightly.
It's not.
He's saying, listen. So this is your uncle Laterras talking to you. You say, see me as your uncle. I'm talking to you. So I know how to talk both. I know how to talk both things. I can sit there and say, yeah, I feel you. Yes, I feel him. Yes, I don't like the fact that y'all live together, but I understand.
Right.
And I don't like this, but I understand this. And I understand what your father feels. And I understand what your parents feel. I understand it all. You know, that's what makes me the communicator that I am, and provide safe space for people, because I can show empathy in all parties and be like, oh, I understand. Oh, I understand. Oh, that makes sense.
You get
that
it.
makes sense. I get it. So the frustration that you're dealing with, 100%. When you say, I want to be married at the same time, you're entitled to that feeling. It's very valid. Makes all the sense in the world. And I'm telling you, the outcome that you desire, you're going to have the outcome, because I already talked to the man.
Right.
I know his character. And I know his relationship that he has with your father. He ain't trying to, you have no idea. He's not trying to fail your father.
Right.
There's a level of responsibility and honor as a man that he is, that he automatically honors your father.
Right.
And so you'll be amazed if he was, gosh, I'm trying to make sure I don't overstep. If he was really honest with you, tell me if I'm wrong. Were there moments that you wanted to break up with her, but based on your relationship with her father, it made you stay a little longer?
Why are you reading me like that? No, yeah. I know it's time. I for sure know that there were times in the beginning where he's like, why? Like, why? No, seriously. And it was times for me. Because don't think just because a man has it all together financially that he's a perfect,
of course,
so amazing,
of course. So it takes
almighty man.
It's give and take with both people. But the point that I'm trying to make is that relationship with your father, is more impactful than you could ever imagine.
It is.
It's more impactful than you ever imagine, because that's a place. That's why I say when men see each other, we see each other. That's why I always say a woman's best friend should be a male friend that ain't trying to have sex with them, because they could talk to them, dude, be like, "No, that's a good dude. You need to watch that. Hey, you need to do this."
And men are so like brutally honest. I used to have homeboys in college that was like, "Oh yeah, don't mess with him. Don't, sis, you stupid. Why would you?" And I'm just like, "Oh my God." Hello, I'm not one of the guys. Like, please, like, keep it cute.
We're gonna say exactly what it is. That's why I can articulate this king's heart and be like, no, that's a good dude. That dude wants to cover you. He wants to give you everything that you think you want plus more. But you need to fashion your heart to be able to receive that which he's already showed you. And now, like I said, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying he's perfect. I'm saying y'all both are working with each other, and iron is sharper than iron.
Yes.
He's going to become a better man with your presence in his life, and you're going to become a better woman with his presence. The things that he needs, even that he don't even know he needs, you possess. I refer to it as this time capsule release. I always look at it as like, if you take certain Tylenol, if you want to become a sponsor of the Dear Future Wifey Podcast, please do so. But if you take a Tylenol, they have the Tylenol with the time capsule release where it says it releases medication over an 8-hour or 12-hour span. That's what I believe a healthy relationship, when you're married to the right person, they provide. So let's say y'all get married, and then it's something that he'll go through in year one of their second month of the marriage, and then he like, gosh, he's trying to figure XYZ out, and you go, hey, yeah, I know how to work that out.
Right.
You're like, how you know that? Oh, we learned that in college. We learned that in such. You know, I got a sociology, a degree in sociology. You know, this and this. Oh, dang. Okay, well, thank you. Something else. It's something that happens to you year 3 of the marriage. He sit there and he says, all you gotta do is you frustrated. You don't even understand how to solve whatever this problem is. It can be health. It can be whatever. He says, yeah, my mom dealt with the same thing, and what she used to do is do X, Y, Z. And you go, how would you even know that?
Right.
He like, no, my mom, I used to watch my dad do that for my mom all the time. He's like, well, God, no. And those are those God wink moments that happen in the marriage where you go, had I married anybody differently, this moment wouldn't have happened. Anything you would like to say as we close up?
Thank you for having me. In the beginning, I feel like I was so like tense, but now you just get it. You get it.
I get it.
You really understand. And I feel like your daughter kind of went through like a similar thing.
Yeah.
So like you really understand in so many different perspectives. But yeah, girls, support me. Okay. Follow me at official Erica M on Instagram and TikTok. I am releasing a book for women. And I might need some help with that. I feel like I'm stumped.
You know the name of the book yet?
It's going to be surrounding elevating your dating experience.
Okay.
So I don't have like a set in stone name right now. I'm just kind of outlining the chapters and, just gathering it up. But yes, that's something that I'm really passionate about. I'm passionate about Black women. I'm passionate about Black women getting what we deserve. I think that we have been pouring into everybody else in this world and we've been getting nothing in return. Yeah. It's time for us to get our stuff.
Good.
Get y'all stuff because I'm getting mine. So
official Erica M on TikTok and Instagram.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you for having me.
So Erica, I really enjoyed talking to you. Like I said, I always want to make sure that, if I want this podcast to be impactful for, generations to come, then I would be unwise not to have conversations with the younger demographic to help pour into them, to add a little nuggets. And also, it's not just everything I do is reciprocal. So having a conversation with you like this is adding a wrinkle in my brain about saying, oh, this is what the dating experience is for those that are, younger in their 20s or whatnot. And I never, ever thought, that's what attracted me to your video. I never, ever thought that there would be a guy your age that would do what Trayvon did. I just never would believe that. So I was like, he did what? Because the first thing, like most people are like, oh, she got a sugar daddy. This is some old dude that came and got her and said, come here. Because you like the ideal candidate for a sugar daddy. You like, man, listen, I got my social media. Dude be like, come on, bring your little young stuff on over here. You know what I'm saying? So I love that y'all the same age. And I just love the fact that you got a young king that's very intentional. Even though you don't feel that he's as intentional as he quote unquote could be, he's operating with intentions.
Yes.
Hey, y'all give it up for my homie, Erica McDowell. Stay tuned to the end for a letter to my future wifey.
Been writing these love letters to you.
Ladarian, thrusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, Black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, Black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While Ladarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our Black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, Ladarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young Black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale. Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical context, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm laterras Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I wanted to do something a little bit different. Hopefully you guys watched the whole episode to the end. I know when y'all, some of us older people, you may see a younger person on the podcast and be like, oh, I can skip that. But I don't think that's wise at all, because if you listen to a younger person, you have, some of y'all have siblings her age, you may have a daughter her age, or a niece her age, or even nephews, to hear how the young mind is thinking, and gems you could take away, or advice that you can ask, advice you could give to your loved ones. So hopefully y'all listen to that episode or watch the full episode, because I thought it was pretty cool. Surprisingly cool to me. Well, here's my favorite part of the podcast, where I speak to my future wifey. Dear future wifey, as I envision our life together, my heart is filled with a deep desire to be your protector, your covering, and your unwavering support. I want you to feel secure, knowing that in my arms, you find refuge from life's uncertainties. Consider me not just your partner, but a sounding board for your dreams. Share your aspirations, and I'll be there to listen, encourage, and fuel the fire within you. Your dreams are mine, and I'm committed to standing by you as you reach for the stars. Looking forward to building a life where you feel safe, supported, and free to dream big. With you, I am ready to embark on a journey where your dreams become ours and our love becomes a foundation for a future filled with shared aspirations. Eagerly anticipating our shared dreams. Your future hubby.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving.
Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.